Hello, my name is Robert, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to sell anything to anybody without changing your prices or literally begging people to buy your products with some laws of persuasion, and it is really easy to understand. And why do you need this? Well, it's really easy. The only way to keep a business alive is to sell something. So if you want to become a business owner, or either way you want to sell something online or want to be a closer or anyone, you have to know how to sell. And selling is not about your script. Selling is human psychology. So how do you sell? Well, by persuading someone to buy your product. Now first we have to go from first principle of selling. Like, what is selling? There is a person who is trying to sell something. This is what is going to be sold. Now there is a person who's going to buy that product and giving money for it. So what needs to happen in order to a sale to happen is this needs to be a product. It needs to be value in that product. There needs to be a person who wants this product because it solves a problem for them, and they are willing to give some money for that problem, for that value, for that product. This is literally the first principle how it should be done, and it's really easy. Now let us focus on the law of persuasions. Firstly, what I want to tell you is the law of commitment. We have to make sure that the person is committed to buying. Now there's a lot of ways you can make the law of commitment work, but what I would suggest, sorry I can't write correctly, law of commitment. The law of commitment is when someone is committed to doing a thing. Like, for an example, if you come to me and you will give me a gift, and later on that day or something like that you will ask from me something, I'm more willing to give you something back because of commitment, because you have already gave me something. And also this is the law of reciprocity. Reciprocity, where if I get a gift, this is the gift, I am more willing to give you anything back because I feel in debt to you, and this is commitment. Now this is the first thing. You need to make sure that you offer something for free before, let's say, hopping on a sales call. For an example, having a lead magnet which solves some kind of problem, or just before the sales call, having a call about, let's say, solving one of their problems, and that is free, that is a gift, and that way you're using this law. This is for an example. Let us go for the next thing, which will be for us the contrast principle. This is very much and often used in selling. And why? Because it's more easy to sell. Contrast principle is principle of contrast is something like that. It's it's easy to tell it in an example. If I give you a 5 kilogram weight in the gym and you pick that up, you have felt it. After that, if I give you a 15 kilogram weight, you're going to feel that it's much more heavier than how actually it is. If I would give you a 10 kilogram, then this is not a good, so if I would give you the 15 kilogram without lifting the 5 kilogram before, then you would feel this much easier, because you have felt an easier weight, you're going to feel this weight heavier. And this is the contrast principle. Showing something before and after is going to add a big difference in the selling opportunity. Like I usually sell this product for, let's say, $5,000 or something, somehow telling that this is the actual worth of the product, but right now I'm selling it for, let's say, 150. And now this price seems much accessible for your client or your lead because of the contrast principle. Because if you would show that 150 maybe too much, but because you showed that it's $5,000, but you're cutting off 4,000 or 3,400 bucks from it, or 1,000, doesn't matter, it's more accessible for the person by using the contrast principle. And I can tell you a big example of how like companies use this. For an example, I read in a book where there was a drive, like people who sell cars, I don't know what's the name of that, and you can go and give your car in, and they are going to give a price range for that car. And the bigger the car's price, the less these company make who are selling cars. And when you go to the company and they will examine your car, they will give you a big price, let's say it's $4,000, but actually it's worth $3,000. So you're very happy because it's bigger. And they're going to put your car out for selling. Now when it's up here and they are trying to sell, they will call you up randomly week by week in order for you to cut the price, because they are not going to be able to sell it because one lead came in and they said that they are willing to pay 360 but not 4,000. And you're going to be like, okay, let's go for 360. Because they have mentioned, because they have added $1,000 value to your car without you expecting it, the $400 which they are going to cut here is going to feel low, nothing. And they are going to do this, let's say 2-3 times, at least 3 or 4 times, and your car is going to be worth, let's say, how much? It's 12,000, 28,000, and they are going to sell it for that price, but you wanted this much, and still they are going to cut it down because of the contrast principle. You're not going to feel the difference with 400 bucks because of the plus 1,000 they have added to your car's value. Now this was the contrast principle. We come to the next place, which is very, very real and needed anything you want to sell, and it's urgency. And why do I say that? Because without urgency, not a lot of people buy. And what is urgency? Well, it's when something is either limited, like in amount, or when it's limited in time. I won't write this down. So it's only available to get it in a time or by amount. Now, why does urgency work? That is the thing you have to understand. It's easy to create it, but why does it work? And of course, how to implement it. Why does it work? Let me tell you why does it work. It works because one of the reasons is people feel, add a bigger value to something which is not easily accessible to everyone. For example, if something has only 10 in the market, they're going to feel that that is more valuable than something which has 100. So if you are selling only 10, they're going to think that this is more valuable and they are going to buy it because of the urgency. Now this is one reason. And second reason is freedom. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is really easy, because people do not want their freedom to be taken away from them. So if there is a way that it's not going to be available for them, the product is not available, then they're going to think that you are taking away their freedom because they cannot get it by their own, like they cannot get it, so it's like you're taking away their freedom, and people don't want their freedom to be taken away. So what they are going to do is they are going to do everything in order to get their freedom back, so they are more likely to buy your product. and this is why it works, but how do you implement it? Firstly, and this is what Alex Hormozi teaches, and it's really important, that don't use fake urgency or fake scarcity. Fake does not work. Don't create fake, because you're going to be a hold on your, you are going to be account, or how to say that? You're going to be hold on account or something like that, in order for you to make sure that you don't go into the wrong way. Don't create fake urgency or scarcity. Create any kind, but you have to make sure that it exists. There is a reason for them to buy. And why it's important? Because studies have shown from this is another law of persuasion, that we have click and wear automations. This is how it's called, and it's literally a sequence that we do by a trigger feature. It's a bit complicated, but I'm going to make sure that you understand it. So how do you imagine this? I'm going to go back to here, but firstly, click and wear automation. So you as a person have so much information every day that you cannot think about everything. So our brain has some kind of automations implemented by some kind of trigger automation, which starts by some kind of trigger in order to think less about everything. Now, for an example, which a study shown, which is really amazing, and it hooks us back to urgency. There was a library where there was a big line in order for people to, how do you say this, print their papers. Like people were in a line for the printer in order to print their papers. There was a woman who went there and wanted to go and be faster than everybody else, so the woman asked the people to let the woman go in front of the person. So this is the big line, and the woman is trying to go up, like, okay, you can see that? I think you can see that. Like the woman tried to go in front of each and every person. Now, there was 3 different ways how they did it, like the research. Firstly, the woman said that, please, can I come in front of you because I'm in a hurry, because I'm late from work. So there was a reason, and it was a logical reason. That was the first way. The second way was, the woman came and said that, please, can I come in front of you? That's all. Nothing. There was no reason, nothing. The woman just wanted to go in front. And the fourth or third was, the woman said that, can I go please in front of you because I'm in a hurry, because I need to print my papers. That's all. So the woman had a reason, but it was illogical. Like, that is not a real reason to you, so that you have to print your papers, because everyone is waiting for the line to print their papers. So it was an illogical reason. Here, at the first part, the compliance rate, so the people who said yes, it was a 94%. So 94% of people who the woman asked said yes. Now, at no reason, just saying, I want to go in front of you because I'm in a hurry, that's all. It was a 30-something%, I don't remember right now. And the third was a reason which was illogical, had a 93% compliance rate. How people let the woman go when it was an illogical reason? Like, why? And the researchers came to a conclusion that the reason that the woman was enabled to go in front wasn't the reason of logicality or unlogicality, but a reason of having a reason. So when the woman said that I have to go in front, I'm in a hurry, may I go in front of you, because that word because started an automation in their mind, which led to a conclusion that yes, I will let you in front of me. It didn't matter it was logical or unlogical, but the woman was enabled to go in front. And this is really amazing, because this lets us go back to urgency, because if you have a real reason, not a fake reason, if you have a reason and it's real, meaning that you haven't faked something, it can be logical or unlogical, it doesn't matter, because people are still going to convert, because the urgency and the word of because will start in their minds an automation. And how they do that? Let's say, for example, buy my product, buy my product, yeah, because I am going to sell only 10, or because I don't know how much I'm going to sell. The second one is unlogical, literally, but it's a reason, so people are more willing to buy. Now this was I don't know how much or which, but I have one more thing which I want to tell you, and it's authority. This will help you a lot to sell in your business. Can you see it? Yes. Authority. So what is authority? Like someone who you look at a different way. I don't know how to really define authority. I think it's something like that. Authority. Now, how does this thing work? Authority. Firstly, you have to make sure that you look like an authority. And as the same way, research have shown that it's not by your expertise which will show that if you're an authority or not, but it's symbols. But what kind of symbols? There's a question. Well, symbols can be literally clothes. There was a study done when a young teenager, something like me, I'm 19 years old, went out to the streets and asked people to do something, like on the street, and came up to a person, do this right now. And when he was in normal clothes, he had a 93% agreement rate. But one time the same teenager went out in a clothes or suit, or how does it named, which had a name on the back, security, and he went out in that thing and he had 95% compliance rate. Like, how big is that difference? 95%. And it's only because of the clothes. He didn't do anything else, just the clothes. Now, if you buy Guru t-shirts, maybe you will sell more. That is also a thing that could be helping. Or maybe my glass, which is Goji, maybe I can sell more because of that. Oh, right now I don't have a product. Yeah, that doesn't matter. So, this is the first thing which you have to understand. And second is a really interesting thing which Charlie Morgan uses a lot, and it states like care and not care. What do I mean? Studies have shown that when an authoritarian figure cares about you or convincing you about something, you are less likely to be conceived. But if an authoritarian figure cares about you, does not care about you, then you're going, not you, but if the authoritarian figure does not care about your perception of are you going to be conceived or are you going to be influenced by the person who's an authority, you are more likely going to be conceived. I wrote it for it has to be different. And this is really interesting because Charlie Morgan uses this. He, every video of his own, he says that I don't care if you buy or not. I don't care. I don't if you click the link. I don't care. And he is an authoritarian figure because I've made a lot of money, and he does not care. So you are more likely going to be conceived, and it's really amazing. This is the video. I hope you learned something. I truly hope that you got some value from me. I'll see you later.